I always thought my wife, Claire, and I had the perfect marriage. We had been together for almost 10 years, and from the outside, people called us the ideal couple. We had a beautiful home, 2 cars, a stable life, and a bond that everyone admired. I worked as a mechanical engineer. Cars were my passion since I was a teenager. My most prized possession was a 1969 Mustang Fastback, restored entirely by my own hands. It wasn't just a car, it was a part of me. I had spent countless nights fixing it, polishing it, and saving money to buy rare parts. Claire knew how much that car meant to me. She even used to joke, "You love that car more than you love me." We laughed about it back then, but I didn't know that one day that same car would become the center of my heartbreak. Claire worked as a financial consultant. She was smart, confident, and beautiful, the kind of woman who could charm anyone. She often stayed out late for client meetings or project deadlines. I trusted her completely, so I never questioned it. But things started to feel different a few months ago. She became distant, less affectionate, more distracted. She spent more time on her phone, smiling at messages and quickly locking the screen when I walked into the room. When I asked if something was wrong, she said, "Work is just stressful lately." I believed her. I always did. One morning, I went to the garage, ready to take my Mustang for a weekend drive. But when I opened the door, the car was gone. At first, I thought maybe she took it to get it cleaned or serviced. I called her and she casually said, "Oh, honey, I forgot to tell you. I sold it." I froze. "You what?" She sighed like it was no big deal. "We needed the money, Mark. You never drive it, and I found someone who offered a good price. We can always get another car later." My hand started shaking. "Claire, that car wasn't just a car. You know how much it meant to me?" She rolled her eyes through the phone. "Stop overreacting. It's just an old vehicle. I did it for us." But something in her voice didn't feel right. That night I couldn't sleep. Something kept nagging me. If we needed money, why didn't she tell me first? Our finances were fine, bills were paid, savings were stable, so what was she talking about? A few days later, I found my answer completely by accident. She had left her laptop open on the dining table. Normally, I respected her privacy, but this time something pushed me. I looked. There were emails, messages, and photos between her and a man named Evan. He was younger, maybe early 30s, and apparently had just started his own small tech business. My heart sank as I read the messages. "Thank you for believing in me, baby. Your help means everything. Anything for you. I know you'll make it big. I love you." And then, a few days before she sold my car. "Don't worry, I'll get the money. My husband doesn't even need to know." I felt my entire world collapse in that moment. She didn't sell my car for us. She sold it for him. The car I loved more than anything was gone because my wife sold it to fund her secret lover's business. I didn't confront her immediately. I just sat there, numb, rereading those messages. Every "I love you" she had ever told me now felt fake. Every late-night meeting was just another lie. But after hours of sitting in silence, something changed inside me. At first, I wanted to scream, to shout, to demand answers. But then I realized, what would that do? She would cry, make excuses, maybe even twist it around to blame me. No, she didn't deserve that kind of reaction. If she could betray me silently, I could destroy her silently too. That's when I made up my mind. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to fight. I was going to plan. Claire had taken the one thing I loved most, my car. So I decided I would take the one thing she loved most, our dream house. But I wouldn't rush. I'd wait, watch, and make sure she never saw it coming. That night when she came home smiling, pretending everything was normal, I smiled back too. I made her dinner, kissed her cheek, and acted like nothing had happened. Inside, though, my heart was cold. I had started my silent revenge, and she had no idea.
For the next few weeks, I played my role perfectly. Every morning, I kissed Claire goodbye before work. Every night, I asked about her day, cooked dinner, and smiled as if everything was fine. But inside, I was a completely different man. I had seen every message between her and Evan, the lies, the promises, the secret plans they made together using my money. I even found proof that she had already transferred the cash from my car sale to his business account. She wasn't sorry. She wasn't even hiding it well anymore. Sometimes I'd watch her texting him late at night, turning her phone away whenever I walked in. I wanted to confront her so badly, but I kept reminding myself, not yet. My revenge had to be smart, clean, and final. You see, the house we lived in was in my name only. I bought it years before we got married. She loved that house, every corner of it. She had decorated it, chosen the furniture, the colors, the garden. She used to say, "This house is my dream come true." So I decided to take that dream away. I quietly contacted a trusted real estate friend and told him I wanted to sell, but discreetly. I asked him to find a buyer fast and to handle everything under confidentiality. Within a week, he came back with an offer, higher than I expected. I signed the paperwork slowly, my hands steady. Every signature felt like I was taking back a piece of myself that Claire had stolen. During that time, I started emotionally detaching from her. I stopped caring about her fake smiles and sweet words. When she kissed me, I barely responded. When she said, "I love you," I just said, "Good night." She noticed, of course. "Mark, you've been so distant lately," she said one night, touching my arm. "Is something wrong?" I smiled. "Just work stress." She nodded, not suspecting a thing. Maybe she was too busy worrying about her boyfriend's new business to notice mine, the business of destroying her world quietly. One evening, I saw her in the kitchen, talking on the phone, whispering. I stood behind the wall and listened. "Yes, baby, soon. Once his next paycheck comes, I'll send more. He doesn't suspect anything." I felt a bitter laugh rise in my throat. She really thought I was that stupid. That night, after she fell asleep, I sat beside her and looked at her face. Once upon a time, I had loved her more than anything. I had trusted her with my heart, my home, my future. Now, I felt nothing but cold satisfaction. 2 weeks later, the house sale was complete. I transferred the ownership, received the payment, and secretly moved most of my money into a separate account she couldn't touch. Then I began packing, quietly. I took my essentials, my documents, and left her clothes, jewelry, and furniture behind. Everything she had once called ours was no longer mine to care about. Finally, on a quiet Friday morning, I left for work as usual. I kissed her forehead one last time. "Love you," she mumbled sleepily. "Yeah," I said softly. "Take care." That afternoon, I called her from my office. "Claire," I said calmly, "I just wanted to let you know, the house isn't ours anymore." She laughed. "What are you talking about?" "I sold it, just like you sold my car." There was silence. Then her voice shook. You can't be serious." "Oh, I'm very serious. I sold something that meant everything to you, so I sold something that meant everything to you." "Mark, you can't do this. Where will I go?" she screamed. I smiled faintly. "Ask Evan. Maybe he'll let you stay in his startup office." And before she could say another word, I hung up. For the first time in months, I felt peace. But this wasn't the end. because what happened next made her realize just how much she had underestimated me.
After that phone call, my life felt strangely quiet. For the first time in months, there was no shouting, no fake apologies, no lies, just peace. But Claire's world was falling apart. She called me at least 50 times that day. I didn't pick up. Then came the texts. "Mark, please, let's talk. I made a mistake. We can fix this. You can't just sell the house. I live here." I ignored every single one. That evening, she must have come home from wherever she'd been. I can only imagine her face when she saw the sold sign in the yard and realized it was real. Her dream home, gone. I heard from a neighbor later that she sat on the porch for hours, crying and screaming into her phone. I didn't feel sorry for her. Not anymore. A few days passed. I blocked her number and focused on my work. But curiosity got the best of me, so one afternoon I checked her social media. And there it was, a post, just a photo of her and Evan with a caption, "Starting a new chapter together." I laughed. She still hadn't learned. But that new chapter didn't last long. A month later, I got an unexpected message from Evan himself. It was short. "Hey Mark, I think we need to talk about Claire." I didn't respond immediately, but my curiosity pushed me to meet him. We met at a small coffee shop downtown. He looked different, stressed, tired, broke. "So," I said, sitting across from him, "how's the startup going?" He sighed deeply. "It's, complicated. I think I made a mistake trusting Claire." "Oh, really?" I raised an eyebrow. "How so?" He leaned forward. "She told me she had money from selling your car, said she'd invested in my business. But after a while, she started spending that money on herself. Clothes, spa trips, expensive dinners, and when the funds ran out, she started borrowing again. In my name." I couldn't help but smile. "Sounds like karma's right on schedule." He shook his head. "She's out of control, man. She's staying at my place now, but I can't do this anymore. I think she's cheating on me too." That last line almost made me laugh out loud. "Well," I said, sipping my coffee, "she's consistent, I'll give her that." He looked defeated. "I just wanted to warn you. If she tries to contact you again, be careful. She's unpredictable." I thanked him, paid for my coffee, and left with a strange sense of peace. A few days later, she did contact me again, through email this time. "Mark, I don't know where to go. Evan kicked me out. I've lost everything. Please, can we just talk? Even for a minute?" For a moment, I felt a small twinge of pity. After all, we had shared years together. But then I remembered every lie, every text, every time she smiled at me while plotting behind my back. I typed her reply slowly. "Claire, you already talked enough. You sold my trust, not just my car. I hope you find what you're looking for. Goodbye." Then I deleted her message and blocked her again, for good this time. Weeks turned into months. I focused on rebuilding my life, my career, my peace, my happiness. I even bought another car, not as expensive as my vintage one, but mine. It felt symbolic, like I was starting fresh. Sometimes I'd pass by the old neighborhood. The house was painted a new color, the new owners had moved in, and there was no sign of her. It didn't hurt anymore. But one evening, as I was leaving my office, I saw someone waiting near my car. It was Claire. She looked nothing like the woman I once knew. Tired, thinner, desperate. "Mark, please," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "I've lost everything. I don't even have a place to stay." I stared at her quietly for a long time. "You lost everything," I said softly, "the moment you chose him over us." She reached out to touch my arm. "I know, I made a mistake. I was stupid. Please, just give me one more chance." I shook my head. "You had your chance, Claire, and you sold it, just like my car." Then I walked away. She stood there, crying as I drove off, her reflection fading in the rearview mirror. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel pain, just freedom. But fate had one last surprise left for both of us. Months passed after that last meeting with Claire. My life had finally started to feel normal again. I focused on my work, spent more time with friends, and even started taking weekend trips to clear my mind. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw a calmer version of myself. A man who had been through betrayal, but came out wiser, stronger, and free. But karma, as always, had its own timing. One morning, while scrolling through the news on my phone, a headline caught my eye. Local startup collapses. Investors lose thousands. The company name? Evan & Co. I almost spilled my coffee. The article said that Evan's business had been investigated for financial fraud. Apparently, some of his investors claimed he used fake invoices and false projections to get funding. The company had gone bankrupt, and Evan was being sued. The comments section was full of angry people calling him a scammer. And guess who was mentioned right there in the article as one of his partners? Claire. Her name was listed under minor business contributor. I couldn't help but shake my head. She had sold my car, supported his dream, and now she was tangled in his downfall. For a moment, I wondered if I should feel sorry for her. But deep down, I knew this was the universe balancing everything out. A week later, I got an unexpected visit. It was Claire again. She looked completely broken. Her hair messy, eyes swollen, clothes wrinkled. She stood at my door like a stranger. "Mark," she said softly, "I don't know where else to go." I didn't move. "What do you want?" She started crying. "Everything's gone. Evan's in jail. The investors are after me too because my name was on some documents. I don't have money, a house, or anyone to help me." I looked at her, really looked at her. This wasn't the confident, smiling woman who had betrayed me. This was someone who had lost everything because of her own choices. "I warned you, Claire," I said quietly. "You sold your peace the moment you chose lies over love." She covered her face, sobbing uncontrollably. "Please, Mark, I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I have nowhere else to go. Not even my parents will talk to me." I took a deep breath. For a moment, part of me wanted to help, but another part, the wiser part, reminded me that helping her again would only pull me back into the same darkness. "I'm sorry," I said firmly. "I can't do this anymore. You have to fix your own mess." Her eyes filled with disbelief. "You're really going to walk away? After everything we had?" I nodded slowly. "Yes, because you walked away first." And then I closed the door. She didn't knock again. That night, as I sat by my window, I felt a strange mix of sadness and peace. I wasn't happy she was suffering, but I was relieved that justice had finally caught up. Over the next few weeks, I learned that she left town. No one knew where she went. Some said she was staying with a relative, others said she moved to another state to start over. As for me, I kept moving forward. One weekend, I went to a classic car show, something I hadn't done since she sold my old car. I walked around, admiring all the models, when a familiar shape caught my eye. It was the same model as my old car, shining red under the sun. The owner noticed me staring and smiled. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said. "Yeah," I replied, smiling.
It's a reminder of what I lost and what I learned. That day, I decided I'd buy another vintage car one day, not to replace the old one, but to celebrate how far I'd come. Life wasn't perfect, but it was honest, and that was enough. But fate had one more twist, one that would close this story in a way I never expected.
It had been almost a year since I last saw Claire. Life had finally settled into something peaceful, quiet, and steady. I'd moved into a new apartment near the lake. Every morning I'd wake up early, make my coffee, and sit by the window watching the sunrise reflect on the water. For the first time in years, I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't bitter. I was just content. Then, one evening, while I was sorting through emails after work, I saw something that froze me for a moment. It was from Claire. The subject line read, "I owe you the truth." For a few seconds, I hesitated. Part of me wanted to delete it and move on, but another part, the human part, needed to see what she had to say. So I opened it. "Mark, I know you probably don't want to hear from me, and I don't blame you. You were right about everything. I thought I was smart, that I could build a new life with someone who promised me the world. But I ended up losing the only person who ever truly cared about me. I've been living quietly, working small jobs just to survive. I don't expect forgiveness, but I need you to know that I'm sorry. Not just for selling your car, but for breaking your trust. I see now how selfish I was. You didn't deserve what I did to you. You were good to me, too good. I hope you're happy now, Mark. You deserve peace, and I pray you found it. Claire." I sat there for a long time, reading her words again and again. For the first time, I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel satisfaction. I just felt closure. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Some stories don't need a final conversation, just an ending. That night, I went out for a drive. The city lights flickered in the distance as I turned on some old music we used to play together. But this time, it didn't hurt. It just felt like a memory that had finally faded. As I drove past the place where my vintage car once sat, I smiled to myself. That car was gone. The house was gone. The marriage was gone. But I was still here. Stronger, wiser, free. A few months later, I attended another car show, just like before. But this time, I wasn't looking at the cars with regret. I was there with someone new. Her name was Emma, a kind, honest woman I met through work. She knew my story, every painful part of it, and she never judged me for it. As we walked past the cars, she smiled and said, "You should buy one, Mark. You light up every time you see these." I laughed. "Maybe I will. This time, it'll be our car." She squeezed my hand and smiled. "That sounds perfect." At that moment, I realized something important. Revenge had given me satisfaction, but forgiveness and moving on gave me peace. I didn't need Claire to suffer anymore. Life had already taught her everything it needed to. And me? I finally learned that true revenge isn't about hurting the person who betrayed you. It's about living so well that their memory can't touch your peace anymore. As the sun set behind the cars, I whispered quietly to myself, "Goodbye, Claire." Then I turned to Emma, smiling. "Let's go home." And just like that, the chapter of pain finally closed, replaced by one filled with peace, growth, and quiet triumph.